Hi everyone. So I'm very happy to meet you. So this is Gvahim. I want to say a few words about Gvahim and our help and support to people before they make Aliyah, and also to tell a little bit the story of Gvahim, because the story of Gvahim is your story. Actually, it's the story of Olim. Gvahim was founded by an Ole, somebody like each one of you. Each one of you could become the founder of Gvahim. Olim have benefited a lot and it contributed, Olim contributed a lot to the state of Israel. So this Ole, his name is Michael Ben Sadoun, and he came from France with a PhD in philosophy, and he saw over 12 years ago that it's very hard for Olim to find quality positions, and he made upon himself a mission to help Olim to find quality positions in Israel. And this is how Gvahim came about to be Gvahim. I actually joined Gvahim 12 years ago as a freelance. I'm HR. I'm a psychologist, an organizational psychologist, and was HR manager in several companies, in serving in the health services, and in the high-tech sector, and previously also in financial sector. Actually, I became more Zionist. I'm an Israeli, by the way, because I was able to work in my profession and to do something good for Israel, and that is working with you. So I bring to Aliyah Prep, the program that I created, all my experience and all my knowledge. And Aliyah Prep is, as it is, the name says it all, and that is preparation for Aliyah. Now, actually, what we saw in Gvahim is that people who are prepared actually have much smoother Aliyah than people who come unprepared. What we give in Aliyah Prep is actually preparation for your Aliyah. And the preparation for your Aliyah is in group meetings, it is in personal consultation, it is in recorded webinars, and also special workshops like this one we have today with experts. And this is all, as Rachel said before, long before you make Aliyah. So when you arrive, you're prepared. We have also a special program for medical doctors. In Israel, there is a huge need for medical doctors, and they have very thorough and quite difficult process of licensing and be able to work in Israel. So Gvahim also support medical doctors in their Aliyah process before making Aliyah and also after they make Aliyah, so they will be able to work in Israel. People coming from the UK have relatively shorter process. People coming from other countries, it's quite long and complex process. Now, what we bring and we give you the gift of Gvahim for you, especially related to employment. As I said, Gvahim mission is to help you to find work before you make Aliyah. And one of our strengths is our community. This is the Gvahim network. This is our community. And this is a private network for you. People who participate in Aliyah Prep are able to be part of this network. So this is the Aliyah Prep group, for example. And here we have who are in this group, who are the members. So the members are either people like you before they make Aliyah, who participated in our programs, but we also have a lot of volunteers. Who are the volunteers? The volunteers are Olim, who already established themselves in Israel, employers, mentors. Mentors are senior Israelis who want to support and help Olim. And well, I wrote for our mentors because we have new mentors in this group. So this is all Gvahim. So when we talk, and we're going to talk about how to find work in Israel in 5 minutes from now, this is one of our most important tools for you. It's our network. And so this is one of the channels and one of the gifts that you receive when you participate in our programs. So what do we have? So before you make Aliyah, as I said, we have Aliyah Prep. Those of you who come from technical profession, that means programmers, data scientists, data analysts, we have a special program for you called Gvahim Tech. We work in collaboration. Gvahim Tech is more focused about actively helping find these people from these professions finding job. Aliyah Prep gives more overview and general information. So we work in collaboration. You can do 2 programs simultaneously, not a problem. And after you arrive to Israel, we have Gvahim flagship program, where we give concrete support and help, writing your CV, interview preparation, LinkedIn, and of course, receiving a mentor and placement services. This is all happens after you make Aliyah. And I'll explain why right now. So I want to say something in general about the Israeli job market right now. It's cooling a little bit. I mean, if I did this similar presentation last year in South Africa around September. I had a different presentation. I think the cooling effect is mostly related to the international job market everywhere, the inflation and everything. So if, let's say, 8 months ago, it was an employee job market, that means it was very easy to find a job. Now it's not so easy, especially international companies had several layoffs. I know you had also layoffs in England from global companies. So we also had it here in Israel. And that makes the market more employer job market, where employer can be choosy, and they are. So this is something to take into consideration. And that's what I think. Now, I'm really putting the focus on the high-tech sector because usually the high-tech sector is a global sector. The high-tech sector is the engine of the economy in Israel. The high-tech sector also operates in different languages, not only Hebrew, and it pays the best. So we usually advise you saw in our network, in the Gvahim network, you will see that most of our mentors and most of our network is with the high-tech sector, because this is also a sector that is very friendly to Olim. So, and this sector is very much influenced, but with global economy. So this is why when I say cooling effect, mostly related to these companies that we advise you to work at. Having said that, we have a WhatsApp group in Gvahim, and our manager in Jerusalem said today, well, I wish I could share it with you, but that they were invited to one of the largest Jerusalem high-tech companies called Orcam. It's a very well-known company, and they are looking for people in the customer support department. So they really and they really want our Olim, of course, because we speak many languages. You speak many languages. I speak only Hebrew and English. So they are actually looking for for employees. So although there is, as I said, there is a cooling effect, but there are also positions and opportunities for each one of you. in Israel. So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of social media. I think it won't be something new to you to hear that when we discuss about looking for a job in the high-tech sector, social media is very, very important. So in this sense, Israel is not different than other countries. Social media is well, maybe it's a little bit more strong in this sense that this is the only place to look for a job. Okay, this is how it is. So if in the past they were opening news, you could look for a job in newspapers or in other ways. Everyone, high-tech and non-high-tech, publish on social media. So first of all, and this is actually, I think this is a kind of information that's relevant not just for the Israeli job market, it's relevant for everyone looking for a job. First of all, what you want from social media. You want to find a job, but you also want to be found. Now that means that you want, you know, in HR, in the past, we recruiters used to post a position, and we were waiting for people to send us their CVs. And when we had to find candidates for the position, the database that we had was the people who sent CVs to the position. This has changed. It's not like that anymore. We have sourcing activities. It's actually very, very strong. We don't just, of course, we still publish positions, you see them. But when we look for candidates, we look everything that exists on the web. And of course, the most important tool is LinkedIn. We don't need database anymore. We have LinkedIn. You update your status whenever it's relevant. So you always have updated information on LinkedIn. And it's very easy to find good candidates. And we're interested in. So some of you receive phone calls. And that means they have these professions that the company is actually interested in right now. So you want, when I look at your profile, although you're not looking for a job, you want that I'll be interested in you. So that means that you need to have a good profile. Now you want to control the information. You want me to see what you want me to see. And there are some information that you don't want me to see. That means that you need to control what I see. It's your job to control it. We appreciate it when you control the information. Okay? It's not perceived negatively when you control the information. Opposite. It perceives positive because I know that you know what you're doing. And of course, you want to make a professional impression. You want to make good impression. And this is the way to find quality position. So when we talk about looking for a job, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you make good impression. Now, how much important is what you do not publish, or that I will not see negative information about you, and how much it's important that I will see positive information. So I think the red one, of course, first of all, you see 91% of hiring agents use social network, okay? 91 is everyone. I don't know, maybe in Bangladesh, they don't use it. I hope nobody from Bangladesh is here and it's not there. I'm not offending anyone.
They do, Rachel. Gam in Bangladesh, they do.
Okay. 76% will check your Facebook. That means that you need to monitor all your web presence, not just LinkedIn. You could have a very nice LinkedIn profile, but I'm going to check your Facebook. And for example, if I work in a non-smoking organization, somebody who promotes anti-smoking, not just non-smoking, anti-smoking organization. Now, I don't want my employees to be those smoke cigarettes. And I can even write that, you know, because we are anti-smoking organizations, we prefer that the candidates will be non-smokers. And I will look at your Facebook. You're going to write me a CV. I'm going to say that you do not smoke. And then I'm going to look at your Facebook page and I'll say that you do. This could ruin your chances. I mean, I won't even bother to call you. So it's really, really important to monitor the information. Usually that is presented on in all your social presence. And that means Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know about Instagram and TikTok, but I know that all the recruiters check your Facebook page. Sometimes people ask me, what if I don't have a Facebook page? I would say, look, this is actually something that has changed, because the same questions 5 years ago, I would say you must have a Facebook page. It's weird if you do not have a Facebook page. But I'm not saying that anymore. Facebook is not as popular as it used to be. I know many people, especially young people, don't have at all a Facebook account. That's fine. But we are going to Google you anywhere. So you need to take that into consideration. And you see the red sentence. This is what you don't want to happen. You don't want to be rejected based on your web presence. So when I say virtual presence, what is the meaning? What do I say? So we all know about LinkedIn, but there are other platforms that some of you must be on them. So for example, if you're technical people in Israel, you must have a GitHub account. You must upload examples of coding to your GitHub account. This is how you are evaluated professionally. If you come from writing professions, content writing, for example, a journalist, you need to have a blog. You need to have, you need to present the content that you created, okay? If you come from creative professions like graphic designers, UX, you must have a portfolio. It's not something new. Without web portfolio, nobody is going to look at you. It doesn't matter how your CV looks like. I can tell you, this was really, really long time ago when I was HR manager in one of the startups. We were looking for a UX person. It took us really, really long time to find one. And this is 12 years ago. People without portfolio, I didn't even look at their CVs. Let alone today, without a good portfolio, you cannot, you won't get any job in Israel. You can have a portfolio on Wix. This I advise more Wix because you can create a nicer portfolio, but you can also have a free portfolio in Behance, which is the platform is less flexible and well, it's a free solution, and this is what you can get for free. But you can also use for video, if you're a video editor. If you don't use Wix, because you also need, all these people from video and creative professions also need a portfolio or website, or create their own WordPress website. You can use Instagram as your portfolio. That's also fine. Okay, now what you see here, I'm sorry, I thought I translated, from where we recruiters get our employees. So these are the sources of where we get our employees. So number one, 77% of the recruiters said that they hired employees through network. That means friend bring friend means network. When I talked to you about Gvahim network at the beginning, how strong tool it is, this is the answer for that. Because Israeli employer hire through network, Gvahim network is your network. What does it mean, a friend bring friend? By the way, it exists all over the world, but it's extremely popular in Israel. That means that an employee within the company send your CV to HR with recommendation. Deborah is amazing. She's hardworking, friendly, very talented young woman, and I advise you to hire her. This is what I'm going to write to my HR manager, okay? So when there is an opening, our HR manager will call Deborah and she will ask her to be interviewed. So it's not what people might think called protectia. When people think about Israel, they think, oh, you only get job by protectia. No, because the process will be the same with everyone else. Deborah will not get the job if she's not qualified for what is required by the position, but she will get a chance. She will have the foot in the door. That's the only kind of thing. This is the friend bring friend. So, and why prefer this way? Because we prefer, because we found through a lot of experience that when an employee recommends his or her friend, usually it's good recommendation. That means that the people that are hired that way are actually good fit to the position. They stay longer at the organization, and they are good employees. That's it. It's success. That's it. So, and the reason behind it is that the employee actually our employee know the organization very well. He know the culture. He know the way we work. And when he recommends his friend, he actually do a lot of the evaluation before even presenting the CV. He can think, okay, I think he could be a good fit, or he or she could be a good fit for the organization. I know this person, I know my organization, I think it would work together. Okay, so this is why it's such an important tool. Now, remember this, because the employee who recommends, if I recommend Deborah, I'm putting my reputation on this mail with her CV. If I recommend too many people who are not good candidates, I say something negative upon myself. Nobody will take me seriously. So that means that when I recommend somebody, I really need to get to know him. Now, this is something that's important for the future when we are going to talk how to use network and how to create the network and to use it in an effective way. So what you see here, that is bring friend, is the most important tool way, but then you see Facebook 53%, sourcing, remember we're looking for you, not just you looking for us. And placement agencies 46%, job boards 42%. So you see there are actually a lot of ways. So what you can learn from this slide is that you need to try all the ways. You don't choose only one way to look for a job. Although Networking is the most effective one. You're not leaving or, avoiding the other ways of job search. So during COVID, we actually hired people without seeing them even once. But after COVID, we are going back to face-to-face. I can tell you also about consultations. I am doing consultations in our Israeli program, the Gvahim Career Center, and I actually want to go back, and I'm going back to face-to-face. So our offices are in Ra'anana, and although everyone can participate in our program because it's on Zoom, and you can have also the consultation on Zoom. If you live in Ra'anana, Herzliya, Kfar Saba, even Tel Aviv, and you want to come and see me face-to-face, you're welcome. I had enough with Zoom. I want to see people. I'm so happy to meet people face-to-face. This is something that the same as me, also organizations, although they do a lot more, you see 61 is video interview. We're not talking about recruitment processes today, but it's becoming more and more popular to have a artificial intelligence interview. So this is also part of the process. And then we have 24. So although 61% have a video interview, also 24% do not neglect having face-to-face interview in the office. I don't think today, when there isn't any fear of COVID, they actually return back to the process. At least one interview will be in the office. So now I know you all want to have a job before you make Aliyah. That's the holy grail. It's not easy, okay? And I'll explain what are the difficulties and how we advise to overcome it. So first of all, you need to understand that the notice period in Israel is 1 month. It doesn't matter whether you work 1 year or 10 years, you still need to give only 1 month's notice. Now that means, and you also need to remember that you are never alone in the process. Good HR practice, professional HR manager will always finalize the recruitment process with 2 or even 3 final candidates that all of them are good options for the positions. So you are never alone in the process. I assume it's the same all over the world, by the way. I don't think it's different in other countries. A good HR practice is to give the hiring manager options. And 2 finalists, it's very, very common. If you come to the end of the process with only 1 finalist, actually not so good. So if you are not in Israel, and if you understand now that you're not alone, even if you are a finalist, there is someone else who is in Israel, and within 1 month, they can sit at their new office, at the new desk. So that is something that for most people would be very hard to achieve. First of all, you have to come for the interview, and second, they expect you to be at your new at the office within a month. This is the first obstacle. The second obstacle, that Israeli employers cannot hire people without work permit, and they don't bother to get one because it's very hard to get work permit in Israel from the Ministry of Interior. It's just very, very hard. So they just don't bother to do it. And usually what will happen if you send a CV, they will see a foreign phone number, it will go to the trash immediately. So this is why we don't recommend to look for a job actively, before you make Aliyah. You can do a lot of things, but you need to have, you can actually damage yourself if you look for a job before you make Aliyah with a foreign phone number. So actually what we do recommend. First of all, you have to make a good virtual presence. Second, learn about your opportunities. Grow your network and use it. That means present yourself to your network and do not apply directly. Now, because you know that the process in Israel is relatively short, I mean, the process might not be short, but after they have decided that they want you, it will be very short. I do not advise to actually start look for a job longer than 2 months before the Aliyah. Now, you can have a fake Israeli, it's not a fake, it's a kind of fake Israeli phone number, a virtual Israeli phone number. Otherwise, it's really going to harm your chances. I'll explain why. We all have avatar, you know, like your avatar, my avatar is based on our name, email address, and phone number. And this is how we are. And companies, especially big companies, have screening systems that actually check. One of the things that the screening system check is the location of the candidate. And a foreign phone number is very easily to see, and it tells immediately the system you are not in Israel. And if I'm a recruiter, one of the things that I will ask to my screening system is that I need candidates who are in Israel. So this is why now after you make Aliyah and you change your phone number, okay, your phone number has changed, but your name hasn't changed, and many times your email address hasn't changed. By the way, email address with the end of the email UK, FR, etc. Also red light for the recruiter, okay? Red light is not a good light in this sense. So I do not advise to send directly to positions. What you can do, first of all, you need to monitor what exists. You need to know how much you will, what is required in your profession. Make sure you have all the skills, that it will be easy. If you miss some of the skills, start to study and learn it before you make Aliyah. So try to prepare for your Aliyah. This is something that we talk a lot in the Aliyah Prep program, how to do it. And grow your network, okay? You will have our network if you join Aliyah Prep. If you do not, start to make a list of all the people that you know in Israel, contact them. About 6 months before the Aliyah, it's a good time to contact them, say, hi, I'm planning to do Aliyah in 6 months, don't forget me. Also ask them where they work, because maybe one of them work in company that you might find a job in, especially if they work in international companies. So you just want to connect, to be friendly, and then when you arrive, you connect again. This is how to utilize the network. Or about a month before the Aliyah, you connect again, but you monitor those companies. If there is something for you in these companies, this is the way later on you will be able to utilize the friend bring friend system.
Rachel, can I ask you something? I just
Sure.
want to clarify something. You mentioned before that one shouldn't look for a job more than 2 months in advance.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Is the 2 months through you or in general? So we should
No, in general.
before 2 months to contact you to start the prep.
No. Aliyah Prep, we advise to do even a year before. Some people do it even more than 2 years. No, I'm talking about finding a job. I advise to contact us before, and I'll explain why. Some people, when they check, and this is something that I really advise everyone here in this group, is to, let's say I am a project manager, okay, in the UK. A project manager in the UK have set of activities and set of skills required to do his job. I advise, if I'm going to live in another country, I will go on LinkedIn, Israeli in Israel, write project manager is location Israel. On LinkedIn, it's very easy to do. And then I want to see what are the set of skills that will be required. Now, if we talk about project manager, we will see that there are two kinds of project managers. One who are very technical. I'm talking about the high-tech sector. One who are very technical professions and need a lot of technical knowledge and experience, and another one who's more management and less technical. Now, I don't know what, I know what kind of person and what experience I bring to the table. Now, if I am a technical project manager, I want to see what kind of skills are required. Do I have those skills? You don't need to have 100% of the skills. No candidate has 100% of the skills, but you do need to have 80% or 85% of the skills to be considered a serious candidate. If I miss many of the skills that are related, maybe I should look for a job with another title. Maybe what I did in England, which was called project manager, in Israel will. Now, our Aliyah consultants are actually our Gvahim HR consultants anyway. They know the job market, they know the skills that are required in different professions, and they will actually guide you what we advise you to study, what we advise before, or what we advise you to practice in your job in the UK before you make Aliyah. So I advise people to join Aliyah Prep about a year to give them enough time to practice new skills if they need. Also, we have a lot of activities for all the family and for all ages, from 18 to 120. So anyway, you have a lot of things to learn and to know, and you come to more prepared to Israel. What I say about 2 months is just related to when actively start look for a job. Now, the last bullet point is do not apply directly. Now, you understand why not to apply directly now, because you don't want that your avatar will be considered as not in Israel after, like, it will take you really long time to convince the system that you have arrived. And you don't want that. You want it when you actually look for a job in a direct way, that you will be able to, the screening system will not stop it. So you can, I do advise to create good CV. I do advise to have a very good virtual press-through network, okay? But do it only very, very near the Aliyah date. Not even 3 months, it's too long. Okay. Now, what we have here, we're not going to go, just going to show you, I'm going to share an annotation. So is that where you can look for positions. So you have search by region. For example, this is high-tech positions in the north. And you have here positions, and you see that they are also in English. Looking for a project manager. So if I am located, this is in Haifa, which is actually, you can arrive to Haifa from many places. But let's say I have a company in the north, in Nahariya, or in Katzerin, or in Kiryat Shmona, very, very far away. I want only local people. Maybe I will publish also on LinkedIn, because high-tech companies always publish on LinkedIn, but I will probably also publish on Facebook, and I will monitor Facebook. I will not publish on general or very big Facebook pages, I will publish in the local pages. So this is, for example, a Facebook group for the North, and this one is in Be'er Sheva and in the South. Okay, and again we have different kind of positions and other activities, but mostly is different kind of positions. So this is search to the north, this is search south. You're going to have, I advise you to, join all these groups. They are in Hebrew, but you can translate the page to English. There are also the national resources. I do hope everyone have Glassdoor account. If you do not, it's really, really important to have Glassdoor account. Glassdoor is very, very good source. In the past, it was not well represented in Israel and the information was not accurate, but it has changed a lot in the recent years, and now it's an excellent source of information. So you can really, okay, so this is companies, but this is because I wrote companies, but if I will go to jobs, well, I didn't search for jobs recently. So product manager jobs, okay. Location will be Israel. I don't need a job alert. Okay, I'm sure you're all familiar. So you have the positions, you can have salaries. A lot of information. I really, really recommend Glassdoor. But you have also other Israeli job boards and good placement agencies, and these all links. So you can later on explore it. This is the reason why I brought it here, because I really want you to explore it. And there are also industry profession specific websites. So I clicked on ArchiJobs. This is for architects and everything related to building engineers, okay? You see it in English, but I changed the page, okay? When you open it, it will be in Hebrew. Change the page to English, okay? So you have here different, this is for people from the movie industry and creative arts. So you have, different. Now, you won't find architects, you won't find positions on LinkedIn. Creative arts, if you're a talent, or if you are a video editor or a producer, you will find job here, okay? You will not find it on LinkedIn. It doesn't exist, not everything. Pharma job is for pharmacists, doctors, nurses, everything related to pharmaceutical professions. They do not appear on LinkedIn. They will appear here in this job board. So this is, as I said, industry and industry specific website. That's the end of the presentation.
Thank you. We'll get back to all of you. And thank you, Rachel, and thank you to all of you that have joined us. I hope it was very informative and we can make use of all this information. Have a good night, everybody.